Hello everyone, my name is Anya Hawkins and this is a complete video tutorial for Nanjing Cherry Tee. First, I will model a couple of samples of this t-shirt for you so you can see how it looks, and I will tell you about construction and fit so you can decide for yourself whether you want to knit it or not. And then we will knit Nanjing Cherry Tee together step by step. I will show you every stage of the process and every technique, so you will have my help all the way. But keep in mind that I am a continental knitter and I will demonstrate techniques in that way. And the pattern itself for Nanjing Cherry Tee, by the way it's the one I'm wearing right now, you can get on my Ko-fi page or on Ravelry. The links as usual are below in the info box. Nanjing Cherry Tee is a raglan t-shirt. Very simple, clean and minimalistic. It is very easy to style. You can wear it with absolutely anything. And it is summer weather appropriate. It is made with thin yarn in natural fibers at a gauge that allows the fabric to be light, flowy, drapey and breathable. It has positive ease and subtle lace motifs. Overall, it is very comfortable to wear. The length of the body and sleeves are adjustable to fit your personal preference and body type. And actually, in this instance, my first sample, red one, is longer than my yellow sample, just because when I was knitting the yellow one, I was more in the mood for cropped t-shirt. The process of knitting is also very simple and straightforward. The neck opening and the edges of the body and the sleeves are knitted in a way that the fabric will lay flat and will not curl onto itself, without any finishing techniques. Once you will be done knitting, you won't need to pick up any stitches, and the t-shirt will be ready for wearing. Use chapters navigation to get to a specific point in the tutorial if you need to see some specific technique, or you can start together with me right now, grab your pattern and yarn and let's do it. We're going to knit Nanjing Cherry Tee top down in the round. We will cast on, knit this decorative band with seed stitch and eyelets that will prevent it from curling. After that, we will shape the neck opening with German short rows. That will create a shallow scoop at the back and deeper at the front. As you can see, it's not straight across even on the back panel. There is a dip here and a deeper one in the front. At the same time, together with German short rows, we will start raglan shaping with yarn over increases. And once there's gonna be enough width and length in the yoke, we will put stitches for sleeves on hold and knit only on the body, straight down in stockinette, and same with the sleeves, straight down in the round. And the length of body and the sleeves is adjustable. And at the bottoms of the sleeves and of the body, there's gonna be the same decorative pattern as at the neck. And after binding off stitches, there is no more finishing. No need to seam anything or pick up any stitches. As soon as you bind off, you will be done. On Nanjing Cherry Tee, we will need fingering weight yarn, preferably out of natural fibers. I'm using this 100% cotton, and circular needles. Smaller size 16 inches 40 centimeter circulars for neckband, bigger needle of the same diameter for yoke and sleeves, and longer cable circulars of the same size for the body. We will also need a bunch of stitch markers, some kind of waste yarn for putting stitches on hold, and tapestry needle for weaving in the ends. And if you will use my cast on method, you will need a crochet hook. I recommend using crochet cast on because it gives a matching edge to traditional bind off. But you can swap both cast on and bind off to the ones you prefer. All openings are big enough and they don't need to be elastic, so you can use whatever you prefer. I will demonstrate briefly how to cast on with a crochet hook and how to join everything neatly in the round. But if you would want more in-depth explanation about this method, like when it's good to use and how to fix mistakes in the process, I have a separate video about it. Link as usual is below in the info box and in your PDF pattern. First, we need to make a slip knot. There are many ways to make one. I do it like that. I tension the yarn between my fingers with the tail end on the thumb And then I place a crochet hook on top, then point it downwards and bring it up from underneath towards me. And that creates this sliding loop of yarn. And then I grab the working yarn and pull it through this loop. And this is a slip knot. Adjust it so it's not too loose and not too tight. It should slide around easily. Now to the actual cast on. Tension the yarn like you do in knitting. Then take your smaller needle and place it on top of the yarn but under the hook. To give this position stability, hold the tail end of the yarn with your thumb against the needle. And this is our working position. To cast on is a two-step process. Step 1, make a stitch. For that, grab the working yarn and pull it through the loop on your hook. One stitch is cast on. Here it is on the needle. Step 2 is to return to the working position. For that, hold your newly done stitch with your thumb, then slide everything to the point of the needle and allow the working yarn to jump off of the needle and get to the back again, and slide away from the point. And repeat those two steps over and over. Let's see it again. Step 1, make a stitch, grab the working yarn and pull it through the loop. Step 2, return to the working position. Hold your last stitch with your thumb, slide everything to the point of the needle so the yarn will get to the back again and slide away from the point. To make counting stitches easier, after every 10 stitches, I place a stitch marker on the needle. If your stitch marker is thin like that, it doesn't get in the way, and I just hold it together with my stitches and continue casting on. And that way, I only need to count up to 10 at a time. Like if I'm putting stitch marker number 10 on the needle, it means that I have 100 stitches. I casted on the number of stitches that I need for my size on the needle, and to make a knit joint in the round, I need one more additional stitch. It's this one on the crochet hook. Just transfer it to the needle, remove the hook, distribute stitches evenly on the needle. Be careful not to twist them around the needle like that. To make sure, I just place my needle on the flat surface to see that cast on edge is everywhere on the same side. To join in the round, find your first stitch, it's this one with the tail end, and your last stitch, it's the one with the working yarn coming out of it. Take your first stitch and slip it to the left needle. Then take your last stitch, it stretches out very easily, and pass it over your first stitch and off the needle. And then pull on the working yarn to tighten it. And then return your first stitch back to the right needle. Place beginning of the round marker on the needle. Now we will knit decorative neckband. Round number 1 is knit 1 and purl 1 to the end of the round. If in the process of casting on you used stitch markers to help you count, remove them in the process of knitting this round. Second round is opposite. Purl 1 and then knit 1. That way over each knit stitch is going to be purl stitch, and over each purl stitch is going to be knit stitch. And round number 3 is the same as round number 1. Round number 4 is the same as round number 2. For round number 5, just knit all the stitches on the needle. Round number 6 is the round with eyelets, and it goes like that. Purl 1 stitch, then purl 2 together, then make yarn over and again purl 1 stitch. Repeat this sequence to the end of the round. Purl 1, purl 2 together, yarn over, purl 1. On the next round, change to bigger needle. When changing needle, the beginning of the round marker will fall off, so let's put it aside for a time. So take your bigger needle and knit with it all the stitches, including yarn overs that we made on previous round. And while knitting this round, place on the needle raglan markers. We need 8 of them, and they should be visually different from your beginning of the round marker, so you will not mix them up. Pay attention to the number of stitches you need to knit for your size. So knit a certain amount of stitches that is in the pattern for your size. That's half of the back stitches. Then place marker, knit 2 more, place another marker, that's first raglan line, then knit again a certain amount of stitches, that's the first sleeve, again place marker, knit 2 stitches, place another marker, that's second raglan line, and then knit a certain amount of stitches that is needed for your size, and that will be the front of the t-shirt. And once again place marker, knit 2, and place another marker, that's the third raglan line, then knit the stitches for second sleeve, and the last raglan line, place marker, knit 2 and place marker, and knit the rest of the back stitches. And so the needle is changed. The smaller one we will no longer need. And don't forget to place back your beginning of the round marker. And from this point starts the short row shaping and raglan shaping at the same time. I recommend you to mark carefully where you are in the pattern on a piece of paper or in the pattern itself if you printed it out. Do not get lost if you will stop knitting. It will be done in a course of 15 rows. And row number 1 is the right side. We're starting from the middle of the back and working towards the front, where we will turn and go to the back and again to the front and again to the back and again to the front and then all the way to the other front and so on. So row number 1 on the right side. First knit to the marker. Before marker make a yarn over, then slip marker, knit 2 stitches between markers, slip second marker, and again make yarn over. Repeat all of this one more time. Knit to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2 stitches, slip marker, make yarn over, and then knit 1 more stitch and turn work. Row number 2 on the wrong side starts with making a double stitch. For that, slip that last stitch as if to purl, and then pull on the working yarn so the stitch will look like 2 stitches on the needle, and then purl past 4 raglan markers. And after 4th raglan marker we need to purl 6 more stitches, and then turn work. Row number 3 again starts from making a double stitch. Slip first stitch as if to purl onto the right needle and pull on the working yarn so the stitch will look like 2 stitches on the needle, and then knit to the marker, make a yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make a yarn over, and repeat this sequence once again. Knit to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and after this yarn over knit 4 stitches, and one of them will be a double stitch that we made earlier. You can recognize it because it has 2 legs and this kind of a knot thingy on top. You should knit it all together as one regular stitch under both legs. Just knit it as a regular stitch. And after you knitted 4 stitches, one of which was double stitch, again turn work. Row number 4 starts again with making a double stitch. Slip your last stitch to the right needle as if to purl, and then pull on the working yarn so the stitch will look like 2 stitches on the needle, and then purl past 4 markers. And after you slipped 4th raglan marker, purl 14 more stitches. And again on your way you encounter a double stitch. Here it is, a knot thingy on top and 2 legs. Go under both legs and purl it just like a regular stitch. Once you purled 14 stitches after 4th raglan marker, turn work. Row number 5 again starts with making a double stitch. Slip the first stitch as if to purl and pull on the working yarn so the stitch looks like 2 stitches on the needle. And then knit to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make yarn over. And once again knit to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make yarn over. And after this yarn over, knit 8 stitches. Turn work. Row number 6 on the wrong side starts as usual from making a double stitch, slip first stitch as if to purl, and then pull on the yarn so the stitch will look like 2 stitches on the needle, and then purl to the beginning of the round marker. And once you purled to the beginning of the round marker, slip it and continue purling to the next marker. When you get to the next marker, make a yarn over, then slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. And repeat it once again. Purl to the next marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. And after that, purl 1 stitch and turn work. Row number 7 on the right side, make double stitch, slip first stitch as if to purl, then pull on the working yarn so the stitch will look like 2 stitches on the needle, and then knit, including yarn overs of course, past 4 stitch markers, then knit 6 stitches and turn work. Row number 8 on the wrong side starts with a double stitch as usual, slip your first stitch and pull on the yarn so it looks like 2 stitches on the needle, and then purl to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, yarn over, and again purl to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. Then purl 4 stitches. Once you purled 4, turn work. Row number 9, make double stitch, and then knit past 4 stitch markers. After 4th stitch marker, knit 14 stitches, and then turn work. Row number 10 on the wrong side, as usual, make a double stitch, slip first stitch and pull on the yarn to make it double, and then purl to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. And the second time, purl to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. After that, purl 8 stitches, and then turn work. Row number 11, make double stitch, and then knit to beginning of the round marker. Slip beginning of the round marker and then knit to the marker. Make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. And once again knit to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. After that, knit 13 stitches and turn work. Row number 12 on the wrong side, make double stitch, and then purl to beginning of the round marker. Slip beginning of the round marker and purl to the next marker. Then make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and the second time purl to the marker, yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, and make yarn over. After that, purl 13 stitches and then turn work. Row number 13 on the right side, make a double stitch, then knit to beginning of the round marker. Slip beginning of the round marker and then knit to the next marker. Make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and the second time knit to next marker. Before marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and after that knit 19 stitches and then turn work. Row number 14, again make double stitch at the beginning of it and then purl to beginning of the round marker. Slip beginning of the round marker and then purl to the next marker. Make yarn over before it, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and a second time purl to the marker, make yarn over, slip marker, purl 2, slip marker, make yarn over, and after that purl 19 stitches and turn work. And now the last row, row number 15 on the right side, make the last double stitch and knit to beginning of the round marker. And so the hardest part, the neck shaping, is done. The work will continue in the round. Round number 1, knit to the marker. Before marker, make yarn over, slip marker, knit 2, slip the next marker and make yarn over. And repeat this action 4 times. That way we are making 2 increases for each raglan line. Round number 2, knit all the stitches. Repeat those 2 rounds the necessary amount of times for your size. And when there's gonna be too many stitches to work comfortably on short cable needles, change to longer ones. And don't forget to place back the beginning of the round marker when you're done switching needles. After you did specified number of rounds, your actions depend on your size. For size 1, there is gonna be several rows of just plain stockinette. For size 2 and 3, separate for body and sleeves right now. For sizes from 4 to 10, there are several more rounds with yarn over increases that are going to be worked only on the body before raglan line, but not on the sleeve. Follow instructions for your size. Now let's separate for sleeves. Knit to the first marker. Remove it and knit 1 more stitch. Then take up tapestry needle with some waste yarn and slip on it 1 stitch and then remove next marker and transfer to the waste yarn the sleeve stitches. Remove next marker and slip 1 more stitch. Then pull the waste yarn through, distribute stitches evenly and tie the ends of waste yarn for safety. Next, we need to cast on onto this needle underarm stitches using backwards loop method. For that, take yarn into your left hand and wrap it around your finger. Use your thumb or forefinger, whichever you prefer. I prefer to use my forefinger. Then with that needle, go under the strand of yarn that goes from the ball and create a loop like that. Remove your finger from inside and tighten the yarn. We casted on 1 stitch. Again, wrap the yarn around your finger, go with the needle under the strand of yarn that goes from the ball and create a loop. Remove the finger from it and tighten. Cast on that way as many stitches as you need for your size. And then take this needle, slip the stitches to the point, and knit one stitch. And be careful not to leave a gap between this first stitch on this needle and your last casted on stitch. Tighten it. Then remove marker and knit the stitches of the front. Once you knitted front stitches and got to the next marker, remove it and knit one more stitch. Then take up tapestry needle with a waste yarn again, slip onto it one stitch, remove the stitch marker, and then slip onto it the rest of the sleeve stitches up to the next marker. Remove that marker and slip one more stitch. Pull the waste yarn through, distribute stitches on the waste yarn and tie the ends for safety. And once again onto the right needle we need to cast on underarm stitches. Take up the working yarn, wrap it around your finger, go with the needle under the strand of yarn that goes from the ball and create this loop. Remove the finger and tighten the yarn and cast on that way as many stitches as you need for your size. Then take your left needle, slide stitches to the point, and with the working yarn knit one stitch. And once again be careful not to leave a gap like that between the knitted stitch and casted on stitches. Tighten the yarn so there is no gap. Then remove marker and knit to beginning of the round. All the stitches of the body are now on the needle. Continue working in the round in stockinette. When on the first round you will get to the underarm stitches, it can be a little finicky. If you find that the stitches are tightened up, that you have trouble getting into them, do this. First, take the stitch and stretch it out, and only then knit it. Now continue working in stockinette until you will reach the desired length. You can use measurements from the pattern, or you can try the t-shirt on and decide when you want to stop. Of course, the yarn usage will change accordingly. Now the decorative anti-curling border. It looks the same as on the neck, only in opposite direction. First round is the round with eyelets. Purl 1, purl 2 together, yarn over, and purl 1 to the end of the round. Second round, knit all the stitches. And then 4 rounds of seed stitch. Round 1, knit 1, purl 1. Round 2, purl 1, knit 1. Round 3, same as round 1, and round 4, same as round 2. Then we need to bind off all the stitches using traditional bind-off method. In traditional bind-off method, usually you work stitches in pattern, meaning when you're binding off knit stitches, you knit them. When you're binding off purl stitches, you purl them. But here you should bind off all stitches as knit stitches, which is actually easier. Let's see it. Let's remove the marker. Knit first 2 stitches. Then insert your left needle from left to right into the first stitch, lift it up and pass it over the second stitch and drop it off the needle. 1 stitch is bound off. Knit another stitch and again lift up the previous one and pass it over the second and off the needle. 2 stitches are bound off. And repeat this process. Knit a stitch and pass previous stitch over the last stitch until you will have only 1 stitch left on the needle. Then cut the yarn and pull the tail through this last loop. Now we need to get rid of this gap. To do it, thread the tail into tapestry needle. Find your first bound off stitch. It is this V. Insert the needle under both legs of it and pull the yarn through. Now find the last bound-off stitch and insert the needle right into the center, where the working yarn is coming from, and pull the yarn through. And this will close this gap. Now flip to the inside and let's weave in this end. Go diagonally across the fabric, catching purl bumps. And change direction a couple of times. And cut off the rest of the tail. Now that the body is done, let's work on the sleeves. First thing that you need to do is to return stitches from the waste yarn to circular needle. And then we need to pick up and knit stitches from the underarm. How many stitches to pick up here depends on your size, on the amount of stitches you casted on here. And starting from the middle of this stretch of fabric, you need to pick up half of your underarm stitches. To find the right place, count the columns of knit stitches. Here, look at the fabric closely. This column of knit stitches goes into the fabric of the sleeve. But this one stops here. This is our first column. This is the second, the third, and counting like that, you will go to the place that you need. Once you add the right column of stitches, insert the needle right into the middle of the top knit stitch. And then take new yarn and grab it with the needle and pull it through. To add tension, hold this tail together with your right needle. Then go into the center of the next knit stitch. So like not in every hole in the fabric, but in the center of the column of knit stitches. And pick up like that the amount of stitches that you need. Once you picked up the amount of stitches that you need for your size, you arrive at this gap before sleeve stitches. From it, you need to pick up one more additional stitch to help fill it. Right from the middle of this gap, pick up one additional stitch. And then knit all the sleeve stitches on the needle. After sleeve stitches and before underarm, there's again this gap. Once more, pick up one additional stitch from it. And then pick up and knit the rest of the underarm stitches. Same as before, from the center of the knit stitch in every column of stitches. Then place at the beginning of the round marker and proceed working in the round in stockinette until you will reach the desired length. And here, just as it was on the body, you can knit more or less than in the pattern. It's a matter of your personal preference, but if you make the sleeves longer, you will need more yarn. And after the stockinette portion here is the same decorative border as on the body, it is worked in the same way and then binded off in the same way. So I will not show it a second time, it is done exactly as on the body. Do the second sleeve the same way, and if you changed the length of the first sleeve, make sure to repeat it on the second. Then weave in leftover ends in the same manner as I showed after we finished the body. On the inside, catching purl bumps, go diagonally across the fabric. Adjust the fabric to make sure that you're not scrunching it up, and change direction several times. And that's it. Nanjing Cherry Tee is finished. And the only thing that is left to do is to wet block it to straighten out the fabric. Well, that was it for this tutorial. I hope it was useful for you. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!